In a magical land high above the clouds, there was a bright and bustling village called Skyhaven. This was home to all sorts of dragons, including a tiny, white-eyed dragon named Bubbles. Like all the other young dragons, Bubbles went to dragon school. The most exciting class of the day was always fire practice. Here, the dragons learned to breathe fire and shape it into amazing things. One dragon would puff out a perfect, fiery heart. Another would breathe a sizzling, bright star. Even numbers and letters would dance in the air, formed by the skillful flames of the young students. Every time it was Bubbles' turn, he would stand tall and puff out his little chest. He'd take a big, deep breath, feeling full of confidence, ready to create a masterpiece. He'd open his mouth, expecting a magnificent flame. But instead of fire, a stream of gentle, clear bubbles would float out. They shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow as they drifted lazily into the sky. The other dragons would start to giggle. It wasn't mean-spirited laughter, but their light-hearted chuckles were enough to make Bubbles' little shoulders slump. He'd look down at his feet, his confidence melting away. A feeling would creep into his heart that something was wrong with him. One afternoon, after another bubbly attempt in class, the giggles felt a little louder than usual. Bubbles couldn't take it anymore. His eyes stung with tears as he turned and ran away from the schoolyard. He found a quiet spot behind a big, mossy rock and hid, curling into a small ball. He whispered to himself, his voice trembling, "I just want to be like them. I just want to breathe fire." He watched his own little bubbles float up and pop, feeling useless and different. He wished he could trade all his bubbles for just one tiny spark of fire. As Bubbles sat there, feeling sorry for himself, a strange and loud noise filled the air. It was a deep, angry buzzing sound, and it was getting closer. He peeked out from behind the rock and saw something alarming. A huge swarm of giant, fuzzy bees was angrily chasing a small bunny through a field of colorful wildflowers. The poor little bunny was hopping as fast as its legs could carry it, its fluffy white tail bobbing in panic. The bees were relentless, their buzzing growing into a furious roar. In its fright, the little bunny tripped over a root and tumbled head over heels into the flowers. It looked back, saw the swarm of giant bees closing in, and let out a tiny squeak of terror. The bunny was trapped. Bubbles' heart thumped in his chest. He knew he had to help, but what could he do? He remembered his own failed attempts at breathing fire. "I can't help," he thought sadly. "I don't have fire. I'm not a real dragon." He hesitated, frozen by his own insecurity. But then, he saw the look of pure terror on the bunny's face. Its little nose was twitching, and big tears were welling up in its eyes. In that moment, Bubbles forgot all about his embarrassment. He forgot about wanting to be like the other dragons. All he could think about was saving that scared little bunny. A new kind of courage filled him, a feeling stronger than any fire. He didn't think twice. He scrambled out from behind his rock and rushed forward. He planted his little feet firmly on the ground, lifted his arms for balance, and took the biggest breath he had ever taken. With a mighty hue, he blew with all his might. Of course, no fire came out, but this time, it wasn't a stream of small, delicate bubbles. Instead, a single, enormous bubble shot forward. It was thick and strong, simmering like a giant soap bubble, but with a magical strength. The bubble sailed through the air and landed perfectly around the terrified bunny, encasing it in a protective, transparent sphere. The bunny, who had squeezed its eyes shut, was safe inside. The angry swarm of bees didn't slow down. They slammed right into the giant bubble, expecting to get to the bunny. But instead of popping, the bubble wobbled and stretched like a trampoline. Going, the bees bounced off one by one, dazed and confused. They buzzed around for a moment, unable to understand what had just happened, and then flew away in a disoriented cloud. The field was suddenly quiet again. Inside the bubble, the little bunny slowly opened its eyes. It looked around and saw the shimmering wall that had protected it. Then it looked at Bubbles, who was standing there, panting from his effort. A huge, grateful smile spread across the bunny's face. You saved me," it chirped happily. Bubbles stared at his magnificent, sparkling bubble, which was now gently floating a few inches off the ground. He had never made a bubble so big or so strong before. A warm feeling of pride swelled in its chest. He looked at the safe and happy bunny, then back at his bubble, and a wide grin appeared on his own face. "So bubbles can be strong too," he said, more to himself than to anyone else. Just then, he heard soft footsteps behind him. He turned to see the other young dragons from his class approaching. They hadn't been laughing this time. They had watched the whole thing from a distance, their eyes wide with awe. They walked closer, their gazes fixed on the incredible bubble shield. One of the dragons, a fiery red one who could make the best star shapes, whispered in amazement, "That's not a normal bubble. That's a shield." Another one added, "Wow, Bubbles. That was amazing." Bubbles felt his cheeks grow warm. He wasn't embarrassed anymore. He was proud. He had discovered that his unique ability wasn't a weakness. It was a special kind of strength. He looked at all his friends, then turned his gaze toward you. He took a small, happy breath and blew a final, tiny bubble. It floated gracefully forward, perfectly shaped like a little heart. Thank you for watching our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures.